Welcome back. We are getting stuck in right away with our next project. I'm making an integral Damascus steel stiletto dagger. That means that everything is going to be from one bit. The guard, the blade, the handle, the pommel, all one forged bit of steel. And our billet is hot and ready to forge well. Off to a good start. My shimmers come out. These power hammer dies go into the ram with a key and a dovetail, and there is a shim that I need to have in there to make sure that it fits, otherwise it's too loose, and when I drive the key, it sticks out of the end of the ram, which is obviously not gonna work. That's gonna hit the machine. This one looks like 0.07 millimeters or so. And this is a pack of shim stock. This'll do it. Slip that bad boy in. Happy days. All right, guys, I'm gonna be frank. This is what I think I did to the metal. The forge fumes might have got to me, because I'm only 90% sure this is what I did. I started with a billet like this, alternating layers of different alloys of steel. You know the drill. We don't get new subscribers on this channel, so you've watched me make a lot of Damascus. We forged it down, turned it 45 degrees, then flattened the thing, and all the pattern all squished up nice and made these nice little essy things. Made a billet of 8 out of that, squished that down. We've now got a nice fat square with some cool stuff going on. And the plan now is I'm going to slice off a chunk. I'm going to put it back in the forge. And on this chunk, all the pattern is going to be running this way. My plan is to take this, much like what we did up here, rotate it 45 degrees and re-square it along this axis. So that on this new face from the re-square, we get all of the cool, fancy, wavy stuff we made, as well as the more simplistic straight line pattern. And that's something that I've never done, and I want to see how this looks. Now I'm feeling a little bit peckish, so it's a great time to talk about today's sponsor, which is Magic Spoon. The sad thing about growing up is some of the childlike joy that we used to have is often hard to come by in the seriousness of adulting. Well, Magic Spoon is here to do something about that. They make cereal with the taste and experience that we loved as kids, but jam-packed with nutrition. One serving of this stuff has 13 grams of protein, which is nuts. It's got 4 net carbs and 0 sugars, so it's perfect for the carb conscious. It's gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, keto-friendly, and naturally flavored. Plus, the packaging is going to ensure childlike delight while you eat your breakfast and try and complete the mazes and word puzzles on the back of them. Their variety pack includes fruity, frosted, peanut butter, and my personal favorite, cocoa. So please go grab yourself a variety pack by going to magicspoon.com/forge, click the link in the description, or scan the QR code on screen. And using code FORGE at checkout will get you $5 off your order. They're so confident in their product, they've got a 100% happiness guarantee. You don't like it, they'll refund you, no questions asked. So please go check them out down below. Let's get back to the video. Why don't we see what the pattern looks like now? Woo! Ah, yeah, so that was a little bit different. But it looks awesome! Trying to spot where the pattern is. I'm completely lost. I have no idea where my pattern is.
Just gonna forge it out and hope for the best?
It's gonna be what I have to do. You know, usually while it's hot, you know, you give it a little brushing, you hammer on it, the pattern will start peeking through, and I can get some of the pattern peeking through, but by gosh, it's faint. Every side looks the same at this temperature, which is a bit concerning. So if I forge this out the wrong way, we might not get the pattern quite how we want. At this point, it's gambling. Right now I've got this block forge out. It's about 5/8 of an inch thick, 4 inches long, and 1.25 inches wide or so. The question is, how do I divide this up to make our stiletto? Well, I've got the proportions of the stiletto that I want here on this piece of paper, and I've calculated what volume of steel I need to make the blade, and that's 1.25 inch cubed. The guard, another 1.25 inch cubed. The handle, 1.5 inch cubed, which means, knowing that block of steel is 0.9 inches cubed per inch of length, we can make some assumptions. 90% of 1.25 inch, we can make a little mark. 90% of 1.25 inch, we can make a little mark. We then have a look at the difference, that's 1.75 inches, sweet. So then what I'm gonna do is gonna spread this stuff out a little bit, get a little extra padding, boom. Blade, guard, handle. Alrighty, it's Mr. Popple with the sledge, nice and gentle. Wow,
that was
off to a good start. Okie dokie, all that's next is to make the pokey pokey. Oh, I'm very excited. This is gonna be a super rough forging because I need plenty of room to grind. Off the hammer, the odds of me getting anything perfectly straight are quite slim, so I want plenty, I want the vague idea of where our dagger is going to be able to grind it exactly where it needs to go after the fact. This thing right now feels heavy and unwieldy. The proportions, however, are pretty much bang on. It's just a smidge too long at both ends. The guard is obviously way too bulky, and so the thing needs to go on a diet, and we're gonna begin to do that. Now, what I would love to do, and this is something that I find a really interesting challenge, is to find a way to get this thing in the lathe so that I can take what is a very rough forging and get this thing bang on. Make sure that our blade and our handle are just dead nuts in line with each other, make sure that our guard is square to both of those. So if I could put this in the lathe, I'd be able to really efficiently get stuff straight and square. But putting a tapered, square, soon to be not square blade in a 3-jaw chuck, that ain't gonna happen. Putting this ugly mess of a handle in a 3-jaw chuck, like, yeah, we could maybe put it in there once, but there's no getting it in and out. This gives me an opportunity to learn about a skill that I have never used, and that is turning between centers.
You have definitely done this before.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
You're certain?
I'm 100% certain.
That I've turned between two centers?
Yep. You've made this exact same thing before.
Wow. I really should do something about my memory. Because I'm certain I haven't. I'm so certain. How weird. All right, so here's what we've got. I've made a little bar that goes through here, and it's got a little flat ground on it, so I can take a little screw, drop it in here, crank that sucker down, and that arm can then push against this guard to make this thing spin. Yeah, got to adjust some measurements. And then what we've got to do is we've got to grind the tips here, and we have to put a little center drill, little spot drill in there for this center and our other center to line up. This goes in that center, and this goes in that live center. When the spindle side of the lathe spins, it has a dead non-spinning center here, and from the spindle we're transmitting force onto our workpiece through this bar that's hopefully going to be strong enough to make this all work. Otherwise, I'm a bit pooped. So with that, let's square some stuff up. I think I'm going to start here at the guard, make a nice cut into there, work the transition, and then see if we can do something to this taper. It works! Oh! Let's go! Right, let's have a look at what progress looks like. Not a lot. This is some of the sketchiest turning I've ever done. This is just terrifying. It's making all sorts of funny noises we don't like to hear, really. I do need to get this to go in a little bit so I can work on the ends of the guards. So I have this interface turned, both sides. We have the outer edges of the guard turned, and I've started to make progress getting our section turned here. Now, this is going to have to go a good bit further. What I don't want to do is get this blade really, really thin, close to where it's going to be when it's done, before I touch the handle. So while it's still a little bit stout, we're going to flip it all around. And this is where we see one of the additional benefits of turning between centers. Every time we take something in and out of a 3-jaw chuck, it is never going to be exactly dead on when it goes back in. However, if we're turning between centers, all I have to do is retract the tailstock spindle, pop that out, and the only thing that ever moved is this tailstock coming in and out. And now I'm going to flip this little bracket I made over so that it can support. Oh, would you look at that? It's now not long enough there. Yay! Holy granola, this is just awesome. Turning an entire stiletto dagger between centers. There is tons of chatter, but it's working. I put an insert with a super chunky tip radius on. Compare that to that, and that means that it's been holding up great to the chatter. We're getting the job done, and I would really like for you to hit subscribe if you haven't, because part 2 of this episode is going to come out in a couple of weeks. We have something incredibly exciting lined up for our next episode. And of course, please do check out today's sponsor, Magic Spoon, at the link below. Thank you so much for your time and for watching. Bye-bye.